this issue will lead to serious diplomatic row on our way some people can so like Fullah between the two countries. But I will say, they on top of this situation, as the Minister for Foreign Affairs, we don't engage with Guinea, that don't lead to some actions and that on this side. What I want to do now, let me give you updates on the relationship between Salou and Guinea. On that developments that will happen, and what team will do when we will restore diplomatic, normal, dignified relationship between we, country, and the sister country, we are Guinea. Over to you, Mr. Minister.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Chairman, Minister of Information, for the opportunity for attending this conference today from the General Governor from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. On a more serious note, as you state, this is a very serious matter. From us, the first step is to do if I don't learn from it, because we get Boku. But what is happening between Sierra Leone and Guinea? Now, an incident where they persistently shows we very close neighbor. The neighbor we surround me by over 40% of the geography. He at times act in a fashion way, non-neighborly, when you would doubt whether or not they really value and respect the relationship of that. But in any case, Guinea remains for being one of the strongest bilateral partners. Bilateral partners in the sense that trade, investment, intercultural, intercultural ties between Guinea and Sierra Leone. And it is so, now we don't get any intercultural tie with any other nation in the world, which Guinea. Mr. President, so today by origin, I am a Fullah and I'm also a product of Guinea. Mr. President also, even IGP is also, if you check, send him a salary. So there's anytime where something they happen between two brothers, it's worrisome. It's worrisome because the relationship, they go back since the discovery of the two countries here, since we get them individual names here as Sierra Leone and Guinea. So we don't see this aggression, not only what happened in Venezuela. We're all aware of what happened at Akaila Street after the conflict in 2001. The Guinean forces that were in Ghana were away on the invite of President Jean Kaba and in agreement with President Nansen Conte. They refused to go. In fact, they have intensified the aggression by way of having boots on the ground, who certainly train Guinean members of the Guinean recruits of the Guinean armed forces. This year, the population in that part of the country became very, very much troubled. And so, His Excellency the President dispatched me for going up point group and for going over the situation, where I told the Leoneans that was aggression. And Sierra Leone today, regardless of the size of the economy or the size of the geography, we're a very powerful nation in the international space. And as we get plenty fora for take on Guinea, but we try to explore and exploit all the available diplomatic means that we follow resolve the problem. And so on the 10th of this month, I got a distress call from the ambassador of Sierra Leone to Guinea that it just don't mind say 2 trucks were loaded with Sierra Leoneans. They don't pull them from Guinea for repatriate them forcefully to Sierra Leone. So the security forces and everybody they say no, we will not allow for bringing people to Sierra Leone without identification and without the proper diplomatic measures, where and established measures if people don't get citizens that want to alien citizens in the country and then demand say for security and other issues they need for repatriating people and they do and in the fullest cooperation of the country of origin of their alien immigrants and of the foreigners in there. But this was not the case. What they did in Guinea, they just go raid a particular area where in a so-called slum area where they infested with crime and drugs and all of these things. Of course, like sovereign states, whatever they want to do with their own internal security, it is at their gift to do that, but without violating the rights of other citizens who live in the country. So what do we learn from what the reports that came from my embassy and from a note verbal that was sent later by the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Guinea and Guineans overseas, now that the country will do a all-round, all-round mopping up operation for clean out areas where there's a suspected crime makers, they dwell unabated. So when they go, they meet up, so they meet different foreigners in the Ghanaians, people from West Africa, including Leoneans. So what they then do on diplomatically, they say they go imprison the other nationals, and because of the relationship between Sierra Leone and Guinea, then take away citizens there without due process and bring them at the border. So we stopped that until an emergency meeting was held, and I tell the ambassador, say, if I go back Conakry and meet the foreign minister of Guinea and tell us that we would not accept the people any longer at the border because we don't even know if they're Sierra Leoneans or not Sierra Leoneans. So they go into a meeting where they started first by apologizing. They say the action not be intended for being a forceful deportation, but because of the relationship with Sierra Leone and Guinea get, I make them give it preference, say enough for imprison Sierra Leoneans then to bring them back home. But even though they say the intention was good, the act itself is barbaric, the act is not proper in the context of diplomacy. But however, communicating further with the authorities, then stall the process of rounding up citizens of Sierra Leone and sending a border. Because we don't make a strong protest against them, say, in diplomacy, we get to see the called reciprocity. Everywhere in the world, when they see, say, countries, most countries and would they send back the ambassador and some members of diplomatic corps within that embassy, we know one thing. And those things we call in diplomatic language, personnel non grata. They ask the host nation why they send diplomats back. So the way the sending country can respond, they can choose for reciprocate, instead they can decide for send some other diplomats in. It's a cold war. So you get that reciprocity in action in diplomacy and in governance. This country, the government of this country, bears the solemn responsibility for protect the territorial integrity of this country and the rights of its citizens, regardless whose side they be. And if somebody get up in the morning and round up with citizens and bring them on board and say, we're not going on the country, that is very unfriendly. And I think what the government of Sierra Leone try for doing now for protest against the Ghanaian government say that is not friendly and it's not brotherly. We all know inside West Africa, people they live along everywhere within West Africa here, many times undocumented, but under the ECOWAS protocol. Even though the ECOWAS protocol is also very clear that when they go to another ECOWAS country, if you do so with documents, then you get the right to stay for 90 days. But we know say we are human beings. And like I said when I started, I say we get cultural interconnectivities. We connected in several ways. So therefore, as a way of diplomatic action, we said one thing, making say the respectability of this country is at stake. And we said they're right for even expelling an ambassador out of the country. But the wisdom of the president, the wisdom of the leadership of the government, decides to engage in diplomatically. And I want to make this audience know the Ghanaians are responding positively. They have acknowledged the action was not right. They then tender an apology to the ambassador. Both the judicial authority will get the responsibility for being raped. And as a matter of fact, in fact, the foreign minister and some other people in the country right now, as we are special envoy of President General Mamadi Doumbouya for cancelling His Excellency the President for left a diplomatic message to the President. We will protect Sierra Leoneans anywhere they be in this world because it is a solid responsibility of the government of Sierra Leone for protest. Now I also speak to what is going on in terms of tribal sensitivity with some actions that have been taken or that have been taken in Sierra Leone. I'm here speaking on behalf of the president categorically that the president of this country, President Julius Madam, not give anybody instruction for who hold any particular set of people. Neither did he give instruction to anybody saying that we go round up Guineans them or send them because Guinea don't send the citizens there. We get the diplomatic means for explore and exploit. Anybody who angry, the way in which they treat Sierra Leoneans and that. But because we are diplomats then, we will keep the anger and treat things for the relationship continue. Because I'm afraid if we did do so, until the vice president of this country and is known as the driver of the bus, me the apprentice, Sieera said the apprentice. But we're there in a point where the president of this country is ready for solve this problem diplomatically, and even beyond this waiting to happen. Now, in fact, it don't stoke up more enthusiasm for not engage now thoroughly and effectively on the Indian issue. So they wait for many foreign ministers to have the message from the president of Guinea. So anybody will not be affected by some actions that have been taken on behalf of the president and the government of Sierra Leone. As Minister of Foreign Affairs, I want to say the government will not discriminate amongst its citizens. And if anybody feels that say they have been slighted and profiled, Yandi Fe Allah, will be happy. Even Umar Fofana, they tell me that about yesterday, but in any case, we are in a very critical time in this country where we need for holiness together, where we need for embrace yourself. Now that's the SFP government stand for, and that's President you stand for. And make us say they can come from the press conference. Make us say the raiding, they don't stop again. They are not continuing the process anymore, and we don't tell them if they do one more thing of such, we will reciprocate. We'll take action where we strain the relationship. But that not will happen because Guinea are one of the best neighbors of Sierra Leone. We get a long tie, we get a fine relationship, we people then connected on both sides of the divide, and we're ready for the peace reign of celebration and for the economic development today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. As usual, you don't comprehensively address the issue of the relationship between Salone and Guinea, and the headline that the steps away you don't take under the instructions of His Excellency don't lead to the Guinean high-power delegation in our room now. I think we will come to this press conference, we will go together, we'll go attend and welcome this delegation here for good meet with His Excellency President Julius Madam. At the end of the day, the Cabinet Minister said, Guinea, not all. I can for tell people and say, we don't like that distinction. Wake up and Fullah there. Nina Fullah, the grandpa, and Guinea comments. I really apologize for that. They must say Leoneans. I really apologize for that. The grandpa comment and I really apologize for that. But nobody knows Sierra Leone past me. Every ethnic group there and I can't come. Plenty of ethnic group they will salute for the man and come before them. This is now one country with all our people. President Leone will ever support the discrimination in any ethnic group. And then the president will appoint the most inclusive cabinet in the history of this country. Mr. Minister just talk about your background. We get plenty other ministers there. In fact, if you go across that cabinet, it's full of minorities. Because Salome, the big pass we all, and I forget all. Then I come to the head of National Security, Mr. Abdullah Walker. I wanted to talk about the state of security coming into this festive period. And also, I wanted to also go once more on this Guinea Salome situation. And I think we should address the question of arrest. We also have plenty as well on social media. Whether they are or not, I think it's very clear. Foreign Affairs Minister will talk on for government when it comes to issues dealing with the relationship with other countries. So, Mr. Walker, I want to give you also 6 minutes for you to address this issue, and then we will come to the respected General, please. All right.
Thank you, Chairman. I greet you all, good afternoon everybody. Yeah. The topic, I will talk about the security status in the festive season. And we begin with the festive season. The festive season, we all understand see a season where people they come out far and wide for come meet their families, their loved ones, their friends, so many guys enjoy. Festive season, people they really enjoy because a season down where people they don't think I don't see. The last time they get the carnivals then, they get so married, some they get the other activities. So one thing, program and activity for the festive period because it's memorable, so that it will always be celebrated during that time. However, the festive season it also comes with challenges, such as that period time delay where you will get confrontation from people then, especially when somebody don't drink. You will get confrontation from friends in the gathering, social clubs, and several of them competitions will take place during the festive season. And it is within the same period, this festive season, that we get a lot of accidents, road accidents. Some man, they drive recklessly. Some man, we don't drink, they drive, they will cause accident. For example, or kill people. So, the festive season, now a period where everybody will remember at the end of the year, the work going on for the whole year, and say this, that year, they can relax, they can get few time to be safe, let me say enjoy. Sometimes you do it in groups, in families, or you might get other groups. That's the period when everybody they really think they will come together. But as a sector, as a security sector, we each time we get festive period, we develop plans. We develop an operational plan. The primary force system, we develop an operational plan. We don't mandate the Office of National Security now for coordinate the entire security of Israel. And because of that, each time we get down to that period here, we ask them to develop their plan, which plan they get for the city. So, in this plan can meet up the last year, November, when we all together, unfortunately, instead of this country here, when we get set of people there, we think they will take the law into their hand and stabilize the state. So, in fact, the plan when we develop, we don't only develop enough for the festive season. The plan was developed based on that thing when it happened. Because the people are social media, 24th, and the guy again. And they all over. The guy 24th, we can't take anything. So, as a sector, we don't prepare ourselves. We prepare ourselves before that time, based on the plan. And along the line, why should the plan say we increase the posture everywhere, but in a concealed form? Ladies and gentlemen, those people going to preach, but very concealed, for able to respond to anything when we think will come. During that process, moving, I think we also carry out those operations based on credible intelligence. And I think based on the intelligence bits, to be able to track down two of the fugitives will be having themselves no matter who. Alright? So in the process of trying to handle them, then the food security forces went to shooting, and they lost their lives. So just after that, we intelligence say, Waterloo, like a place where it don't become very, very troublesome in terms of harboring criminals. Because all of the things that did happen when it starts from, when it cannot be done, it starts from Waterloo. That is some of the criminals they hide, then it's a more famous when they hide in Kenneth and the scam, all over the West African country, they come and travel scheme. We don't arrest a good number of them in this country. Then we arrest 50, 100, 150 Guineans, more of them, Guineans, so they are Malians. But each time we arrest them, we had a dignified way of treating them with the appropriate embassy. The embassy, they say, when I bring them at a certain location, they bring bosses there, they put it inside, they can go. Now, a crime they don't commit crime, but because of the bilateral relationship between we and Guinea, we get for do that, but we don't sign a lot of MOUs in terms of collaboration between we and Guinea. And therefore, it was on us for making it in a dignified manner. So we did that, and they did not have over 5, 8 to 9 times. All the arrested people there, all the guys on the society, we did the camp. We don't cut apart in the camp. Then they call me in the camp. I said, how about the deal with? We got about it. They can't go back now. In a dignified manner. That we have been. So, during this period, in our operational plan, we say we need for carrying out colonial search. Now what happened? Because from other sources they only get, we don't get information. People don't bring ammunition in this country here. And the way they bring it down, we know that the goalkeeper using the sea fronts also. They go and say they do that. We don't begin the sea front issue over 3 months ago. 3 months ago, we hold meeting about. We hold meeting na Naya. We said na the whole meeting. Na anywhere for them to clear out the sea front, and we begin deploying with Sudan in the sea front. Because if we talk permanent meeting, we can't meet permanent meeting because we deal with fishing. So we don't do deployment. Now most of the sea fronts, we don't, but we don't try for destroying any shanty house. We got a plenty. If you go to Bombay, go to Leoneans, or they see, but they big and not do that. All right, because we believe in getting information and credible intelligence. That will be one problem. And because we get credible intelligence, we always respond appropriately to that credible intelligence. And that is what we actually do. We carry out colonial attack, and we're able to stop Boku in our Boku. In fact, that's the first phase of the colonial attack. Because the colonial attack is going to continue. In the one, the camp, and they will also continue within the West African by intelligent things we do it. Well, we think we have criminals, we have people that win and gather, we have people that win and they do some things. Like 2 weeks back, we discovered now Eastern, Allentown, the Kush lab, the biggest lab that is conducted in the Kush, we discovered with all the items and the number of Kush near the school, primary school. So when this team have a hold on do all of this, whilst we are doing this raids on our colonial search, of course, now we get this unfortunate news from Guinea. Was in the group of people. All right. itself as a sector, we decided to say, let us not wait for anything. Let us go there and now Balamuya and try for support her, because as a government, as a sector, we for care for people. And therefore, the security sector will go Balamuya, the CDS, I want to use this opportunity for saying very big thank you to the IT and the CDS. Because immediately the IT and the CDS then provide 4 trucks each, with them put fairly for 10 people for get a good at various places. And what do we do? We establish registration camp. When we establish registration camp, we make sure say everybody wake up, we register with this aggregated figure. We get figure there where all sides where they call it the country. From Kono, Kenima, Kailan, Bo, Ujon, Muamba, up to the western Uba, the western Uba. People that go in, we get the figure there. And we get the total number of women and total number of men. Everything is recorded here. Alright? We make sure say that trucks and everything. Within them few days, they traverse for where people they go. They get where they go. We send them promote. And we make sure say we go, drop them, we send them promote. They get them, we come back to take. And that we do all over, up till Sunday. We did that. We get them up and send to them very well. So they were all very out. And thus, I think the people there, when they bring it up, they don't tell them, say, when they bring it up, don't go back on that dream. But the servant and destroy, they say, don't want to go there again, the slums. But if you're able to go back, once you get place for living, you go there. So the unfortunate, when the security sector, they plan operation, when people they think, say, they target a particular tribe, that's very unfortunate for us in this country. The Fullahs are almost like the third largest tribe in this country. They are part of Nigeria. How can anybody who get the right sense target the Fullah man? It's unfortunate. When we the people, they think about engaging again. We don't target Fullahs. May God forbid. Alright? But they raid. We get people that won't get old. We want people that don't get themselves. We have 80 foreigners when they get them. When they get them, what come they get them, go they. These are Zimbabweans, Malawians, Angolans. They are here, 80 of them. They say they do online betting. We have them doing this paper. It's a wide way. But people, they don't know this goes to the whole thing because maybe they were, which are they hold on to they say they don't, they are targeting Fullahs. That can never be done in Sierra Leone. Nobody would do that in Sierra Leone for saying they target Fullah. Even these people wait, then they send to us back. The largest number is coming from Kenya. The second largest is coming from Colombo. They did this randomly without looking at it, trying looking at it. They just did it randomly. So it's really unfortunate when people go with them. Like for us, our job as a security sector is to ensure that this country is stable and peaceful, so that all of you go about doing your normal business. Today is peaceful. That's why we're supposed to be here. Everybody has to. If you're not peaceful, nobody has to take this way. And that's just what we want to do. We want to make sure safe. We make this country peaceful and stable. So the coming on site we are doing is not limited to one location. It's all over. But in the process, people they don't take it out of context to say they target Fullah money. We have Fullahs in our government. How can we target Fullah when we have Fullahs in our government? That's never possible. We are targeting criminals. We are targeting drug dealers, and we are targeting those foreigners who don't obey the law. In this country, there is a constitution. You must obey the law. And when you obey the law, you are the friend of the security forces. Once you obey the law, especially a time like this, this is why. Now, we don't make sure say we don't install CCTV all over, even at 38 by 38. Normally, we don't install CCTV there. This junction here, we don't install CCTV. security sector.
Okay, sir. So,
Thank you very much.
thank you very much. And the Office of National Security Chief and the National Security Coordinator at the country. All national security issues and they coordinate. Now we come to the Honorable Inspector General of Police, Mr. William Fayaselu. I think sometimes IG, when things like this happen, we only call you. And then sometimes it's a question of not what the order was, but it's a question of how that order may be interpreted by the people then at the ground we implement the order. But I want to focus again on inside the NS Code talk about the state of security to assure people, every Sierra Leonean, about what's going on for good security in place. But I think say it only fair because I can still say some of the family there and I can ask you a question for later and address the same issue with NS Code address about the implementation of this order and whether it targets any very specific group as well.
Thank you, John. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, on the relationship issue, I think the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Adjutant Justice we have talked. This is also affected. Check the background. EU propaganda, EU reports. It's public and private. So that may be levels and news. But you have for us, we mentioned a couple of things from the security point of view. The NS Code don't highlight most of them. For me, each time we Ghana was government settled about it, just what do we do on a daily basis now? Now we talk for us, this particular period, it has been difficult time 3 years back. Me Ghana as a government, things are really very difficult. We are the most impactful no high pressure like a big. People like where they go through. So for me, I just to see the go enhance the government's zone, for example, of course. Most of the people we don't talk about those are classified information. We don't do that. We don't do potential mapping of gray areas. We do that after the 2022 August 10 demonstration to get some place level of mark as they are gray areas for us. They are areas with very liable for less spontaneous violence, very so those ones they are covered. In addition, we get a department with a department of community relations. We do a lot of community engagements, go out, we get the dedicated team, public address system, go out to communities, we carry different sorts of messages and legislation reform. Recently, we talk about prohibition of child marriage, we talk about there are ways they keep people at the post time way, they don't even plan for them, large amounts of people that we NS several times. We do raids on communities, freedom and upcountry in the interest of the name of QNet. We see lots and lots of people coming from outside Sweden. Once in our Watalo, I will get opportunity for one compound where we get over 113 millions. I work with Mr. Fullah and the Guinea Embassy in Ghana. He put them on buses. Very regular. Recently, 34 millions and they over to Mr. Fullah. So those agreements, we do them and we get a very cordial relationship with the Guinea Embassy in terms of that. Just last week, and the new Guinea Ambassador go to the office. Tomorrow, the Nigerian Ambassador will become High Commissioner of Embassy because I get over 20 Nigerians who will have custody as a result of the project. And I released to them recently another 34 people inside the country to get a good number of them really around. We get Chinese from America, we get Zimbabweans, and Kenyans, all of that. So we do that. Then of course, some the limit one project and guest and chef where they call Smart City Project. The Smart City Project, now the idea really come from His Excellency for put freedom under close surveillance. But for a long time, it not be work. We don't think about the way NSC as of now, we don't deploy 36 cameras across the city, different locations. We will monitor them from a particular time. We will monitor them from the top to the joint operation center, which will keep everyone in it. Then, of course, we also don't make use of some technology, keeping in line with His Excellency's technology and innovation game changing. So they use drones most of the time. We fly them day and night. We know what will happen because we have to know. We concern for the waterfront. So we get intelligence in the one pass to something for power side. So all those ones are covered day and night. And of course, we get wheel system, we monitor the system. So we have tracking system, we have GPS. Every police must go with us. Any every day, we will know every day. And then the app and the phone, we have slots, every visual slot, and we know the particular patrol must go. That enhance visibility and response time to incidents where they happen across the board. Then, of course, the call and search operations continue. That thing will not start at no to yesterday. It's been there for the past 3-4 weeks. Not to say we stop that one day because the information will come. What we need to enjoy, at least for now, and the fact that the members of the public, when they get information about what's happening, they pass on it. Each time they send messages and phone. People that did attack, we see plenty. They need to talk to yourself. They need to talk to yourself. We'll also to you about for response. If I don't respond to our so we will say that to her and not respond. That's what I do. Your phone, you know the box. I don't turn off for nobody. Any message you can, I'll look up, I'll read them, I'll respond to her. So from the security point of view, I have to use this moment to assure every Sieera that last year holiday was interrupted, but this time we don't put it under control. We don't put acts together. We are going to have a very peaceful, very quiet holiday season. Few weeks ago, somebody was called for the status as yes. We have been done. What happened last year? We know what happened again. So security day in place for make sure everybody go about to know our business. Also, to know more than that will increase the profile because the history of this country, waiting at the happen and letting it happen. So that's heighten the security profile, the enhance the presence at different points for us to build. So basically from your side, let's also tell you.
Thank you very much, Inspector General of Police. The security of the states and alert, the IGOs don't say they don't attack any ethnic group, and that not to their intent, not to their mission, and that the operation they undertake are broad-based operations. The other important headline, no one forgets, now that as far as the security of this country is concerned for this festive period, the IG they are sure we see things they don't have control, and that they're confident that nobody will go into up to your day. They also don't take it to the general public because security and the public they do. When you see something, you say something. We call the security forces. Before we open for the public, I want to come to the civil society activist, Madam Bano, I have been with you today. So let me just comment on everything we do here as well, on state of security, particularly at the currently now, as we get into the festive period, and as a human rights activist as well. Thank you for me.
Thank you very much. Every time, Mr. Minister, you give the civil society the short time, and you say, we'll let talk. But I think from waiting along that, one of the good things about this forum, it provides information to the public on waiting governments in steps. And one of the things then about good governance is about how you have strong institutions, functional institutions that the public can trust. So even when the IG, they say people in the send to him, and I think I want to commend you, sir, because a lot of public officials, like they send a message, they don't respond. So one of the things when you build public trust, it's about how those who are in authority will make the decision, you have access to them, and then you can see, say, that they're able for action on the information when they provide for them, because that is very important. We get a lot of shakings, for over a period of time. I also serve as a civil society representative in the Peace Commission, in the board of the Peace Commission. And I think one of we all worry about is giving recommendations to government, but also looking at the triggers to conflict and unrest. So whilst the security apparatus, then when they do the fire brigade approach, we they look at the underlying. So NS called they mentioned about like Waterloo and certain areas where they don't find out for conflict areas, where they go deeper. Why? Why this particular area they get so much reports about issues, whether it's about kush, whether it's about juju, whether it's about killings of people, we they look deeper. Something the way they trigger and government institutions they need for response. Is it the issue around unemployment? Is it the issue about exclusion? Is it the issue about people are not visiting and their voices are being heard or lack of participation? Or is it that people are not just state institutions? When people get the perception, whether for whatever reason, it can be triggers them for unrest, it can be triggers for conflict. So it's good that we don't get this forum for let the state institution they're able for come for explain what they do. And not only waiting and they do, but that waiting we the public can do for ensure security. And one of the main things is having access. If people then sit down in public office, you are there to serve the people. The person will call you and they call you for bingo. He call you, they pick up the phone. Then send message to you, they respond. It's a big issue. I also want briefly comment maybe I would say the posture of the government with regards to the issue of Guinea, because recently notice every now and then there is an issue happening in Guinea to Sierra-Leoneans. I'm not saying Sierra-Leoneans are the best people, but with the sort of big border wall, you don't see how we close with Guinea. We also can get concerned that every now and then they round up with people there. Myself don't get a very bad experience while traveling in Guinea. And then they talk Creole, but they were so very, very hostile. So it also, because I've also participated in ECOWAS conversation, and when they talk about free movement, and so it is something at the security level, it will find for discuss. If they sign up, they sign up to free movement. They're not for they persecute Sierra-Leoneans there. Harass me when will they travel within their country? It means so bad. One of the officers said, "You woman, you come here." At first I look at because I was so shocked. That is not how you treat people. If you get for search, you get for condom, vehicle, that is not an issue. But you do it in a respectful manner. And they know something as Sierra-Leoneans, and then they talk to you, but they treated us so badly. So you will find, as we don't really say there's a delegation coming, outside this present thing where they happen, we also therefore discuss why as Sierra-Leoneans constantly being treated in that manner when we go through Guinea, when we are staying in Guinea. And it started even from the conflict. Waiting happened there. And we've always appreciated Guinea because we don't say now when they born Cambia, then Cambia get relief, when they rebel then they don't see on. So we've always been appreciative of waiting Guinea done for we. And I can't really explain, we all have brother and sister. We all the mingle, and I was saying here with schools, if my family come on Guinea, sometimes and let them put them when they take them go. But at least we know say we get party them, we get neighbors, we get people that all they interact with, wake up come up from that side. So coming back home, it could that at the security level, even as they respond, we also look at the other issue we can also spark up. We see the level of Mamiko's business, we don't rampant in this country. When you discontent with person, you go on social media, you curse him, mama. When you get clever with people, that's an insult. It shows that the country don't lost value. We have to be respectful, and there are more women than men. We have to respect women good like that. We also therefore look at issues of unemployment. When they talk about the push, when they talk about the people there, when they do the mixing of the push, not therefore target not only people there where they smoke out. Why are so many young people, and not only young people, they were unemployed? You don't go to a government office, a government policy, almost say for long from Nigeria. So you don't go say that way in a job, you almost say for long Nigeria because it's on push. So we have to look at the underlying thing. Why people in the physical push now the best way for all. And the best way for address them now for cut off the source. We also look at the small community issue. Because now they when small TV it is spark off. Why when you go now to a place like Lonely Beach now, the amount of beggars, it is so unsafe. When you sit down there, you know they feel comfortable. The amount of beggars, the amount of boys they really on drugs, and that is supposed to be a tourist area. As for security people they mention, people then they come for holiday. Not because anybody get money. You know someone when I'm from February, March, they don't buy tickets for camp. So also say that money get because it's cheaper then. People they come for camp, relax, you just want to watch sunset, enjoy yourself. But there are so many beggars. They are on drugs and they own weapons and they own net and they own this and that. These are the things we have to look at. Why they build so much? You get a slum. You cannot have a slum close to a tourist area, inside hotel, and they fall in at the car. Big events that they happen. You have a whole slum community under. So once you look at what you will say, the effects, the issues the way they happen, there are other governance issues where the states need for address. So let me get the level of security we require.
Thank you very much, Madam Valora Edwin. And I want to tell you thank you as well for you always show up and represent. Today you show up late, that's true. I did do my best for give as much time as possible. It's not an official government press briefing, but to let we get the kind of perspective somebody like you did provide. Because President Leoneans lives in an inclusive government. I mean, no big people that we know like Sky say, make the turn off, then phone them. Now we can open up for questions. So, the rules, first I read the question that we don't come online, ask, then when we in the room, I will get on a chance for us. You will know there, I will let you understand what we will get here. The panel are the normal as superstar now. Nobody knows the can to star. Okay? The superstar and the panelists. So if you give the mic, you state your name, your affiliation, and you ask the question. If you begin explaining, begin giving preface, and I cut him off. And I'm not going to make no exception of that. Panelists, about 30 questions will come online. Now, the commitments where I typically get that I will ask all questions when they come online. But today, I therefore pick the people who don't send the question and they make some exception. Because most of the questions they actually summarize them. Many of the questions then, now why the police target Fullah people there? We do it then there. Many of the questions then say now Fullah people are no more. They ask for ID cards. See, somebody they ask me why we not press release for condemn the action. Yeah. Somebody they ask me if Fullah no get ID card, why IG for target them? Somebody they ask, I think some of the questions we don't answer them. Somebody they ask see if one is surface what he called Fullah phobia. Somebody they ask again, what the government they do for put a stop to this issue. Somebody they ask what we do for regarding the impasse between Salon and Guinea. Some of them questions I will not already answer them. They plenty about hires in Fullah, talents in Fullah. said, can't any other tribe prove themselves? Were people in Sierra Leone? Okay, same. Okay. I think almost all languages we can say sentiments. I think the panel don't address some of them, most of these sentiments already. So they are open with one already and then I will take a few questions. Okay, so I want to see the hand already on first. I go around and pick and then they come to answer. So I will start on this side. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and then at the back here number 5. So we done here 5, and then we count by here 5. Number 1. Assalamu alaikum. Alright, now so we will ask the question. So from a block we will not see, please. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much. Not only Fullah's you pinpoint.
I joke, by the way. You don't mean that. It was joking.
But my name Sheriff Elongima Botima Tefuyama Bari. Yes, on a very serious note, this is a link in question. We get a lead from the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and they talk about reciprocity. So in that regard, the police reciprocated by targeting only Fullahs. 90% of the police stations that we visit as the Deputy National Secretary General of the FPU, we are Fullahs. Not Malingos, Mamadin Kumbiana Malingo. Not the tribesmen of IG, Fayatelu, the Kisis. So why always Fullah when there is a trouble in Guinea? Thank you.
Thank you. Now make something. Thank you very much, Sharif. If another rule here, if they don't ask you question, save we don't ask the same question. So there, we get plenty of people here. Pass this in a new topic you want to bring down or new information, or Sharif don't ask the question, or I think see plenty of we can want ask. Sharif don't talk. So if you want, if the same thing, don't just let them answer. Now this man will be number 2. Yes, sir. Can you read number 3, sir? After him.
He's waived this.
You don't waive the motion. Go ahead. Thank you
very much, Minister. Sieera Manufa, Barrister and Solicitor of High Court and the Admin Secretary FP Western here. I just want to add certain facts and to listen Mr. Barry say. So, firstly, what happened in Guinea was a disgrace. I personally condemn that. And the National Coordinator of ONS, I also appreciate you because for life to sleep in the net peacefully, somebody like you need to do a job and ensure that we are secure in this country. However, what I want to bring to you are facts, and these are not controversial facts. You are aware of a raid we happened specifically in Texaco. Arrests were made. And according to a report by the SNBC Morning Coffee Show, and listening to that report, people were arrested, and in that process, somebody presented ID saying Hassan Jawar, he had a passport on him. He was released. There were other people arrested in that moment who had passports as well. But they were Fullahs, and they were not released on the spot. They were taken to Togo, detained again in Togo. So the question is it a coincidence that over 90% of the people arrested were Fullah, and even those who were Fullahs with IDs were not released? So we will need to tell me if this is really not targeting.
Thank you very much. Ghana number 2. Okay, we don't Ghana number 3. So the person will be pointing us number 4. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. Mina Alhaji Mohammed Bayo, the official presidential spokesman to the president of the Fullah Progressive Union. I don't go sign me colleagues and don't go. But my question they go to all at the table. Me, I want to know waiting na the reason and who that give this instruction for target the Fullah one day. Waiting at the end. We want to know. Thank you.
All right, the gentleman at the back. Well, wait. Let I will point somebody after I am walk out to because you are the only woman on this side. So give the mic to the gentleman at the back. I may not already point though. We get ruled now, yeah? If I don't point fine and I will know the way by. I don't say we are possible when they come to you. Okay. Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Go ahead.
My name is Nabil Obari. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Nabil Obari from Falaba District, Financial Secretary under the Fullah Travel Head, Falaba District. My concern that the arrests where they happen, most of we travel around the world, Europe and Africa and America. But they know they target a tribe. When they say reading, it can be for everybody. And my second question, we get a rubber then, we cannot put begin then they are lungi, on the QNet. But I don't know what I want to hear about that. We Falaba alone will get up to 20 begin then, when they kidnap, then they would would ask for help.
And kidnap picking them, you say?
Yes, that picking them when they say that they have to go to Europe. They pay money to them, they hold them on ransom, and they ask for more money, and they lie with international phone number while they are getting it.
Thank you.
Would ask for help. Thank
you very much. I want to give this lady the last chance on this side.
Jamaat Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Mina Madam Hawakam Jalo, the coordinator for the Fullah women in Sierra Leone under the chieftaincy. I want to know who say we the biological citizen of Sierra Leone, the Fullah, the who say we go wrong for being citizen of we own biological country. We get the Fullah them from Senegal, they don't want to deport them again. We get Fullah them from Gambia, Nairobi, Niger, all over the world, where they allow Subhanahu wa Ta'ala na increase them, na belong to a country. So who say we the Fullah them now from Sierra Leone, don't be get wrong. We want to make IG explain to it today exactly what is the security for we the Fullah them na Sierra Leone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, ask the mic now.
Thank you. Don't ask the question.
All right, listen. Everybody listen. Okay? We don't get 5 comments and questions. Somebody don't ask a legitimate question. Why I don't limit the questions to just journalists? I don't. We put out a public code. We put out a public toll-free text line. We ask all the people at the Ministry for Information and Civic Education. I always encourage ordinary citizens with questions to submit them. I'm not changing because today they are. We all are the same citizens. We don't ask 5 on this side, and they count on this side. We'll get most of the journalists there, and they all will ask a question there, and they will respond. So we'll come on this side now. Let me see the hands that are up. Okay? Good. Nice. Obviously, I will start with Fullah as the senior journalist radio on this side. I will start with my brother, number 2. I want to see the lady, number 3. The lady, also journalist. So, number 4, Naya, and then journalist number 5. So 2 ladies, starting with Umo. Wait, we always ask questions. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. First, a quick observation. Can I suggest that maybe the government needs to engage the Fullah community in a town hall meeting?
We have been doing that.
When you read them regarding the situation with happened in Sierra Leone vis-a-vis Guineans. My question, shortly before I came out earlier this morning, I called the Inspector General of Police, who is here, because I'm doing a story, and I want to get the number of Guineans arrested or foreigners arrested in Sierra Leone in the last few days. The exact words were, no arrests have been made. And the ONS personnel in his statement make an obviously some arrests were made. So for clarity, I want to know exactly if any foreigners have been arrested in Sierra Leone in the last few days following the events in Guinea. If so, how many of them? That is one. The other question is, Mr. Foreign Minister, the counterpart they come from Guinea, do we know how many members they come at the delegation? Then tell me exactly why they become. I asked because you mentioned the issue of Yenga as well, which get me both confused and interested. Because I've been visiting the guy exclusively for what's happened in the last few days. Me come on Guinea yesterday. And I've got to say as a Sierra Leonean that what I see on social media is not representative of what I witnessed in Guinea. I've been at the embassy on Saturday. I met dozens of Sierra Leoneans with it, and they were processed by the Sierra Leone embassy. We tell them for relocating other parts of Conakry and not the slums. Agreed that truckloads of some Sierra Leoneans have been taken to the border and sent across for Ghana, Sierra Leone. But I also knew at the embassy where those other Sierra Leoneans were going to other parts of Guinea who said they go for reside. Not then tell them say don't go to the slums, go to other areas.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. In fact, one will respond. We will respond. So let me go. Who have been number 2? Yes, sir. No, this one.
I'm sorry to say I'm right for Concord Times. Mr. Minister of Foreign Affairs. Now, we get diplomatic relationship with the Guinean government. Waiting at the level of communication. The level of communication. We entirely happen. To the NSO, when I get an operation, we will arrest a series of foreigners. Is it a random operation or a planned operation? Whether it is planned, we are going in connection with Guinea, because we are to do the same thing.
Good afternoon. We have an analyst at the report for affiliate. The question goes to the Minister of Fisheries. So last week we do a story for the fishermen, and one of the things that we didn't say is that the challenges that we face now is climate change. So as a ministry, what can they do for educate the fishermen on climate change where it not going to affect their livelihood? Thank you.
What's your name?
Analyst.
Thank you.
Leoneans are not to be addressed from CNN newspaper. I want to ask the question for them who are mandate where they don't arrest. If any solution for them get how the government get for deal with the one where they don't arrest the Fullah for waiting they don't know about. And for we this are normal like when they say them waiting at Guinea. How the government understands saying that video where they show now old video we don't pass. So why you count new other one again where we say now old video we don't pass for no for count corruption and stuff and the big we are around there people like that.
Alright, and the last question is and then we'll get a response. Come from Sieera.
The question they go to question and solution. The civil society woman talk on the build and the tourism area, which occurs in the slum. And that slum that they get what we call mangrove or what's another they call it. And I let the fishing lead, and then the travel get fishing. Waiting the fishing come they don't do, or the ministry don't do for when they build within that particular slum area. For make we get fishing, the cow the Christ and fisherman go far. Then also I want to send this message to the IG. Recently we get KK right now, they talk on Mayamba and I asked a question on Mayamba, and I'm going back. Recently people do check. Indeed, they don't write Mayamba, they don't write Mayamba. But I'm getting an error with policing within the second toll gate. Immediately as you pass the second toll gate, I don't know, the soldier be well disciplined on that side. But the police gets a little bit of error. More one day we target and no. They target child. I'll say on the more serious concern.
Alright, okay. Get to the question. Is there a question there?
Yes, sir.
What's the question?
The thing is,
why the police check? Alright. I tell them now, thank you for the question they want to ask. Now we get some important questions. The way I do about this is we start again with fisheries. You get 2 split questions. Then we come to Foreign Affairs Minister. Then we go to IG, we come to ONS, and then it's the civil society will comment. This press conference, because we get more panels than normal, obviously we do have all the way up to 4 o'clock. Right. I keep on a question on my answer in short in whatever way. Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Sieera, and I just want to tell Ms. Sister we asked this question a big thank you. Definitely climate change, a big problem for the fishermen. Then, you know, say climate change not only just Salon, all over the world, things that they really change. Places that they way if they cold, if they become warmer. The same thing with the coastal lines and now we find that in some places they like Sullivan. They're not able for fish then they fish for 6 months and then the rest of the other 6 months they're not able for fish because of the weather, because of what they happen, they're not able for and the canoe they use, they're not too strong enough to let them go out for go fish. So you find that climate change is one of the biggest problems they get. Even during the rains, we able to forget a lot of seaweeds the way come at the shore. And during that time, the boats they don't be able to catch fish. When you put to let, most of the things the way they get are seaweeds them. So things that really change. The temperature of the water again, we find out it become warmer. So when you warm too much, the fish then they run away, they go look for side where it's cold. But what we don't do now, they work collaboratively with the Ministry of Environment. We then they deal with climate change. And that makes you find out you got a lot of COP27, you know, they go for them under the world will sit down and talk about this issue with climate change because that thing we will say not able for cooperate. The only thing is you want to prepare for it. We get places like the place they don't go now where they find out the rain they come. Places anyway, a lot of rain they come when people they don't able for settle, they get for move. So all of these things they are as a ministry we try for put things in place. How we able for move them people they are doing the rainy season. Because some man they are doing the dry summer and they live in the area. When rain they come out they move. So what's in the alternative livelihoods, how we able for make sure say then people they are able for do what's in for do. So most times we say okay during that time they wanna move, come like other places they wanna go able for the selfish. Now go for do other work that go apart from the fish work like they do. So that then really government don't sit down and make sure say this not to tell them what we for sit down and turn a blind eye. We for sit down and talk to the partners. And we get a lot of partners that they work along the, somebody talk about the mangrove, whether they walk along the mangrove, because the mangrove now, it gets carbon credits. Mangrove don't turn to thing where people they make money out of it. And a day, we oysters, and a day we fish themselves where they want, where they get, and then a day they go rest, or then they pour them, begin them. So no one, let people that begin, they cut them mangroves. And so we really desensitize the people that they are along that coastal line for letting know what mangroves there, because now the mangroves and either they use or we smoke them fish. Because we use the mangrove, it take a lot of time for them to bond. So most times the fish are box that they use. So what we try for do is we not talk to partners the way they come, but see how best and we will give them. Some people that they give them even stove, but let them we use the mangroves that let them we cook. Because now they anything that people that they use for sell. So those are the things that we look at. So we government set from the hand, and we partners them, save the children, they say they don't come on board for them work. We get a lot of organizations, and there's another organization they call Space. They don't come in for them go for help or get an alternative livelihood for the people who already live in the coastal area, because most times they are being deprived. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister. Mr. Minister, you had a few questions about the relationship with Guinea, level of communication, what would they expect, and also you also want to reaffirm the points where what I will make about the reality in Guinea is different from what's in reporting on social media, and also you get this week share with me just before we start, and also comments on that. And then Umo will make the next question concerning the purpose of the visit of the Guinean authority, not just tied to this stage, but also, you mentioned the Yenga issue. So I think there were a few, related questions as well on that day. So just comments on those.
Yeah, thank you very much. And when I say a special envoy when it comes to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, a special envoy comes with a special message to the President of the country. So the content of that message, I don't know. So that's the aspect. I am guesstimating that the protest Olympics and the apologies to the authorities in Guinea don't be. I only expect say that foreign minister they bring the message from the president, way reconciliatory, way apologetic. So we can seize the opportunity, because I will be having a press conference with the foreign minister after the tete-a-tete meeting with His Excellency the President. During that press conference, I invite the media for coming to our press conference. I will tell you the time. And I really tell you the time. Yes. And now I come to the other question. Okay? So in Sierra Leone, we only entertain Madingo Fullah rivalry. The Bobiwa sock and Fullah Muslim. The first word I hear for talk and nene. So nobody will take that away from me. I'm addressing the question where their uncle Calvin. In fact, incidentally, the mama said not married. My uncle was very emphatic, saying they don't arrest my woman, they don't arrest my man. This country, when they talk about tribe, if we talk about tribe, we all know how we got this country. But most importantly, they will respect the diversity. The level of expense to which people want to sentimentalize what in their pursuit is unacceptable. It's unacceptable because if they say that they round up Fullah man in this country based on tribal profiling, the man will inside that box where you go. If you don't have Sierra Leonean, now you born, now you end, now you go school, now you know for being home. So that's inconsequential Guinean rivalry between Madibo and Fullah. It has no place in Sierra Leone. I can always tell a story. I can always tell an anecdote to them and Manigoman. I say when Manigoman get money, they marry Fullah also. So we are the product of Manigoman when they get money, and Fullah also will fine. So please, I want to put that thing to rest. Madibo Fullah rivalry, get no place inside Sierra Leone. I cried over my so this minister shared with me a message. As they read the message, I cried. No, I really cried. The day when President Bill made me Minister of Mines in this country, between me and the President inside the room, I cried. Why I cried? Because my daddy in the 1980s na tongue of him, na the Mandingo tribe head. When the Mandingo man they come to illicit mining or Nico as by law, they're not forbidden at Tongo, only they run out of the Baba in house and they go. As a child, I grew up dreading the morbid fear that the next day they will arrest me on account of entrapment there when they can seek refuge and in their vehicles. The president, I told him, I said, now you don't give me the opportunity. As a son of an illiterate Mandingo tribal head, you don't give me the opportunity for being Minister of Mines in this country. I was in a room when the decision was made that we must respond to Guinea because of Peter Adamo. But that message was never a tribal profiling message. For give message and for implement message are two different things. Nobody in this country, you cannot have the vice president of this country was sitting in that room. You cannot have the vice president and me and other people in this country and President Leo in this country. It's unfortunate. We don't see what put in. When I talked to one of my grandfather yesterday, you know what he told me? He said, Mama Musa, he said, it reminds me of the 70s. What it happened in this country. So we get an allergy to profiling. But at the people now, this is not anything where they profile. Because honestly, if we go into tribal profiling, who will left in this country? Nobody will left in this country. The intention is also, and they say this, maybe I'm not for service in camera. When I became foreign minister, the first place where I go, na Guinea, on the Iyenga issue. What did then Guinea man tell me? When I came back, I met with some members of the security force. I said, Guinea, don't watch Guinea. We don't like what is happening in Guinea. We observe them because we know once they tribal things then lead to a whole sub-regional conflagration. So please, let me not bring that element of Mandingo mandate in Fullah and Sierra Leone. Now, once I know that, we get a vice president who belong to the Fullah tribe. No minister that now belong to the Fullah tribe. Me, the Bobby was soft, now flowers Bobby. I will not be part of anybody where the prophet died in this country. But it is not the case. Because we cannot take the statistics. Somebody said all the stations that we would have commanded the arrest. That is not true. You cannot perambulate the city and go to all the police stations. Whilst it is painful because it gets historical remembrance. In the 1970s, Shaka Stevens in this country connived with Secretary for taking people there for go Guinea. In fact, that is why some of the barrier they all moved to the call went to. They will say that's not without action. Even bad action get good consequences. In 24th century, nobody will dare to profile anybody based on the trial. Me once done, my people Fullah. I talk many days ago, they want me. I go school until the land, they talk to me. I will never be part of any conspiracy where the profile somebody in this country. So I'm coming to the issue. The gentleman asked about communication. In fact, yesterday, from when it happened, are they in constant communication with the Fullah tribal head? Are they in constant communication with the vice president? Are they in constant communication with the president of the republic? Are they in constant communication with the minister of foreign affairs of Guinea? According to exactly what Timmy brought up in the press release that came from the Sierra Leone embassy in Guinea on the 12th of December, it was stated clearly that the video where they make rounds where they say that they lynch Sierra Leoneans, not so true. Now, all video, in fact, where it will not happen around the central Eastern Africa, because in Lingala, the people in the top. So, what's happening again? Even what's happening again, what we condemn, now the manner in which they bring with citizens in. But every country gets in rights for portrait and for send people in the word reciprocity is not equivalent to holding of land. It means diplomatic action for telling the other person to say, you shall maintain national integrity and respectability. Wallahi wa kareem to the Kaaba, I will not be part of any concussion we will provide. Not to the man, not to the man, not to the man in this country.
Sometimes people can come from the sincere of those. On the question of targeting, nobody was targeted. And I can tell you, we have no reason we cannot target anybody, nobody was targeted. So the question of who made all that was all right. Nobody was targeted. What are they doing?
IG might just ask one clarification question. Just so you could give me an update on the number of people that, so let's say Umo will not be giving a question directly, but now since you don't ask a question about the number of people detained in the past 2 days, you get a number of people that are arrested and detained? Okay. Yeah, I just say not get the number, that's fine. ONS, you have a comment on the question there? Please now stop the movements. We want for listen. These are people that can they answer the question. The law stay who will go. We wrap up and the other one will go. Go ahead.
I think I did not answer the question already. The question we are going to say everybody is very important. Now, whether they target Fullah, but I will tell you that categorically. Nobody not target Fullah. Even
Yeah, we listen, only don't agree the mind to self talk. Not the Allah, only people that they talk. Yeah, and the baby.
The brother asked one question, he said, now share company. Now share company. You can take 2-3 balls in a day. They get a word and listen. I think they cannot constitute targeting Fullahs. You know, cannot constitute targeting Fullahs. Let me just give an example. The security operation, but people don't know because what you do in the operation, the things that already unfold. For instance, there is a law in this country for say, if you want to demonstrate, you therefore go to the IG for the permission, for an interview. Now, most of the people when one for demonstrate, when they go to the IG will tell them, okay, I will give you permission, but can't sign this. But put in a minute, put in that minute, when you do that, you don't sign to run. So, like, when you follow the job, when we do security operations, it's bad. The question of saying we target specific people, but how can we, the situation how can we really target a particular tribe as a sector? When we get all of the enemies that they work class, when they part of the security sector, then we sit on the table, they give and say, we are going to arrest somebody, we are going to arrest people. It's not possible. It's not possible. And people then sometimes one will use so the question they ask you at their own advantage. But for us in the security sector, we remain resolute for make sure say happy. When you talk say a happy that it is fine in a group, a human business. It appreciate the security sector. And that's what I think say we will get from everybody. Because if today when they come in the house in Canada, when I go back, nobody will touch you. If you appreciate, say, the security sector is at work. Now, people beginning, they don't sleep for guidance. For the money, what do they do? For them to provide a the environment, for them business happen. So now, I appreciate that. It's small things that happen. Whenever we begin to like say, they target Fullah. The security sector, in no way, no one can target Fullah. It's one country.
I don't know, there was no question directed at you, but I wanted to just comment a few minutes and then we'll wrap up.
There's always an expression where they say you need to read the room. So we don't get the assurance from the security sector, but I think say it needs a deeper dive, because if there is a perception and people they don't give concrete examples of what they have seen or heard, there needs to be a deeper dive or look at the operational level what's actually going on. Because there is no way in this room alone, maybe you know say social media can do anything, but in this room alone, very responsible people that always, what I would say are very valid concerns. So waiting for being the move for the security sector is to go and see what's happening at the operational level.
Alright, okay.
It's about the fishing part of it. And my recommendation, Madam Minister, is to have an interaction with the Ministry of Land. Because waiting the is not just that we are going to markets, and fish is so expensive. And the reason being, if you look at the Atlantic bypass, if you look at, like I said, to the beach, these are just the few examples. All the mangroves don't go because Ministry of Lands don't allow people then for bill and then area then they. If you look at behind Cochrane, in fact it's a whole security risk. All the slum, all the mangroves don't go. Look at Congo. It's also a security issue. The mangrove, they already don't go. So we don't get the kind of fish we're supposed to get. Juba Beach. I've lived at Juba Hills from around 1988, 86, 87. You dey pass there, you dey see fish then they. People then they go fishing at Juba Beach. Now you can't look that they don't backfill and people then they don't build it. And everybody they pass by and they see. So if we really serious about addressing climate change, about ensuring that people then they go to markets and the basic food, we talk about malnutrition, even for Fikine, the fish is good protein, we talk about oysters and all that thing. If we really committed to it, let me ensure say we not allow structures, human activity in all those areas where they affect how the fish and those marine life that we need for ensuring we all get a balanced diet, it will be affected. Because the top and model in us one, it shows that there is no commitment at that operational level.
Thank you. Alright, so we don't get some concrete points there. Mr. Fullah say for those all of the Fullah community, I want to make you say we don't get multiple engagements at different levels with the leadership of the Fullah community. Me, a member of the National Advisory Council for the Fullah Progressive Union, and that's what Minister before I told Minister I don't connect of the Fullah Progressive Union. The Honorable Vice President, obviously, they will get leaders in our community where they will only engage. What's clear from the conversation, like I say, there's a difference between perception and fact. But in comms, we say perception is reality. What I perceive is reality. So if I perceive say something they be, whether they be or not, na my own reality. So what we will commit to doing as a government, now that we will change that perception there. In our engagements, in the action, across the rest of government. Also one day that perception they will change, but I think say in the concrete action and the engagement they will look for, to the family where they are. I think I join me what Timothy for saying. Anybody will feel hot and slighted, we sorry, we beg. If you feel that with you, no security person, no grab, nobody, no get anybody instructions say go attack for a man. Nobody, no get any instructions say go hold for a man. But clearly, like perception than they with the RSD. So, we want for big planning for that, and commit say we will do the best for make sure say that reality as well change. Since the minister, the boss say you know to stop security obviously of course, even we the people, all Saloma security operation continue. We just want to live in a country where we will say if you are all treated the same and that nobody will feel see your own people there, your own clan, your ethnic group, your community, your neighborhood, because it's not supposed one level say is subjected to any unfair treatment. Me, President Leo, and the Cabinet Minister say, I'm not saying you know to give that kind of instruction to everybody for do. Because the Minister of Foreign Affairs gave another press conference where I don't go back for now, I want to ask as we put this one now to an end. If anybody gets any pressing question, we want to ask for follow up. You want them we a journalist in a yard, and then the contact, the IG, and no see busy, but I'm very responsive, don't talk. We will follow up on them first on the day. And the journalists, I will sooner or later on Foreign Affairs. We will call on for the second press conference for today. We will focus on the Guinea-Salon relationship, hopefully with the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Until next week, Assalamu alaikum.